and today's video is going to be another masterboard. I am working on beach themed journals. One of them is mermaid right now, and I got some paper from Temu that is really pretty, and I wanted to use some of it to make a journal masterboard. So if you didn't get to join Monday night, or you don't like live so much, this is the masterboard that we made Monday night using papers. This is gesso, which we might kind of mimic again, and this is a stamp, and it's just so pretty. So these are fun, really fun to make, easy to make. And I know that I just did one, but I wanted to do version 2 with some different papers and vintagize it a little bit, just so that you know some options for decorating. So thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate it. I invite you to subscribe, like the video, and also if you would go over to the May 1st video and enter to win the junk journal giveaway. It's a little kit and the link is below. So let's jump into this. I love making masterboards and I hope you will too. So let's get busy. Just want to say you can never have too many masterboard videos. Just saying. So I do want to use for this one, instead of the blues, which we did use here, which I think is beautiful, we're going to use the Vintage Photo ink to set apart the different pieces of our papers. And this is really beautiful paper. This is from Temu. And if you're interested, let me know. But there's different papers. And a masterboard is just a board that you can use to create other things from it. It's like your background. You can make a background to a card or a page or a photo. You can make tags, which you can make pockets, just whatever you want to do. And these are just really pretty papers, and I thought they would be great used in my journals for tags and things like that. It's just love the beautiful vintage look of these papers. And so instead of tearing them with my hands, I'm going to use my ruler tonight. You could use a deco edged ruler or a paper cutter if you want to, but I'm just going to tear some pieces from here with my ruler. It's really easy. You don't even have to have a paper trimmer, and that's what we're going to use. The backing we're going to use is a file folder, and I know I've done many videos for masterboards, but every one is unique. And one thing that I really enjoy doing is scanning them, and then I have them forever, and I can share them with you too. Now, another thing is if you want to add some sparkle or anything like that to it, you can do that as well. What I added last time with my stencil, this stencil here, I made bubbles and added gesso. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that quite yet. But what you need is adhesive. So it's really simple. I'm just going to use this adhesive. This is called Kalau glue, and it's alcohol based. It makes the bond really well between your backing and your paper, but it also doesn't soak into the paper, which is one of the things that I like about it. So I have to decide what papers that I want, and I'm not going to use anything completely up. So I just want some pieces. So I'm just going to use my ruler and just pull like that. It's going to give me kind of a rough edge, but not completely tear the papers up. So I don't want all my papers to be square. So I'm going to pull at an angle. Now, one thing that I like to do, which is what I was going to share with you, is I like to go around the edges, and I call it vintagizing. So all I'm going to do is take some of this ink, get it on my blending tool, and I just go around and ink all the edges to give it that vintage look. I call it vintageizing because it really makes it look aged. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these different papers and go around all the edges, and then we're going to put it together. Now I will take a side note and just tell you that I have done it multiple ways, making my own masterboards, and you don't have to do this step, but I really like how it looks on the page. Then once you create your masterboard, I suggest you scan it if you can. You have a all-in-one printer or something. And then you can have your file of your own creation forever. And then you can print it as many times as you want to, and then use it over and over again. And it's your own creation. I'm taking these beautiful papers and I'm making them mine. And I'm going to be able to reuse them over and over. And I really love that aspect of it. Once you've prepared your papers, however you want to, you have your, I use a file folder for my base, and I use the regular size because that is about the size that will scan in. But you can make larger ones too. They make the larger legal size folder, so you can use that as well. You'd have to scan it into 2 sections unless you have the ability to scan it larger. Now I have all my papers ready, and again, I like this because I like the way that it looks. You can also use all kinds of things. You can use ephemera, you can add stickers, whatever you want to do. I just let the creativity flow, I have to say. Whenever I put my papers down, I just don't plan it for some reason. It's just one of those things. So I've just got a little piece of cardboard here to help me spread my glue because I want to make sure it covers the whole thing, right? And then I'm just going to start putting my pieces together. So however you want to do that. Now you want your glue edge to edge on your papers, right? Stamping or any kind of gesso or anything like that is let your masterboard dry a little bit and let that glue set. Now I just wanted to show you the difference with using the vintage photo ink on those pages and the papers versus using the blues and the blue papers with the mermaid tail paper. And so it's just really beautiful how different they can come out. And so this one, we're actually going to use some stamps, and I want to show you the stamps I want to use are here. Let's see. We're going to use these because they're pretty opaque and we want the image to stand out. what I like to use also is the watercolor or waterproof dye ink. It just makes such a beautiful stamped image, especially if you're using like clear acrylic stamps. And I just wanted to have that ink. So I'm going to pull these stamps off of here. And we're just going to stamp some of these images on here in the background. First, I want to use some fish. Now, this is just a fish by itself. Maybe I'll do two. So I've got this little one as well. So we'll just stamp both of those. And this stamp is pretty opaque. So I'm putting the ink right on there, and then you just decide where you want the fish to be. So just doing that, and that looks pretty cool just on here somewhere. So we're going to add a couple more. Just add a couple more fish, and I really love the dark blending in, but it stands out. You see that? Okay, so then I'm going to take those off, and I'd like to put a seahorse around. Wouldn't that be pretty on here? So we're going to take the seahorse. I always bring my ink to my stamp. I don't know how you guys do that, but we're going to take the seahorse. Now, one thing too that I like to think about is where I would be cutting. So if I want my image to be on the full tag, if I'm going to make a tag, then I want to think about where I'm stamping so I don't have to cut it. But I think that looks really nice. And then there's some beautiful coral here on this particular, I think it's coral. Isn't that coral? I think so. And I have another really pretty stamp that I put on the other one. It's really pretty, so I might use that too. All right, so we'll do another one. And just adding some images to make it our own. And let's put another one right next to that, but kind of not the same height. All right. Then I have an octopus, so we're going to put that in there. And my fish popped off. All right. Octopus. I'm stamping my fingernails. I'm apparently a messy crafter. But I like this rock block. Really makes adding images really easy. So they don't all have to be up and down, and they can be going off the page or creating movement also. But there's one more that is some like, let's see, life plant or something. And we're going to put that down here. So we'll just add that. To there. Okay, so I think that's good with the stamps. Now, I did like the effect of the gesso, so I do want to show you how that worked, especially if you didn't get to see the video from Monday night. So this is just bubble stencil. So wherever you want it to show bubbles, like going up here or going up here, or going through here, then you just put your stencil there. So let's just put the stencil here, and we'll just have some bubbles going up. So this is gesso. It's just a basic acrylic, and this is white. You can get it in other colors, especially black, but you can also mix your acrylic paint with it and make a different color if you'd like. So So what I want to do is I'm just going to take a little gesso and put it on my little piece of cardboard here. And I'm just going to take that and I'm going to just go over my whole stencil. Now, I didn't apply any adhesive to the stencil. So I'm just going to show you. And this also gives you a dimension. So let's do that. Okay. So I've got a little that came over here. Now, if you do get it over and you don't like that, you need to go and clean it up right away. But you can see how cool that looks, and it looks like bubbles. So I'd like to add a few on this side just to make it look like it all goes together. So I'm just gonna put a little bit, not a lot, and just rub it across like that. And then it looks like bubbles coming up out of the ocean. It's pretty cool. So then the other thing that I wanted to do on this one, because we're making it pretty vintage looking, there's really no sparkle on here. So thought that we could add a little bit of sparkle. So apparently the spray bottle is not, it's not pushing down. I don't know what's wrong with it. So I had another mister here, and you just shake it up and then spray. Ooh, that comes out really good out of this one. But that's a lot, right? So I don't want that much. And I want to be careful where I put it. I don't even know if I want it on this one. I just want like a light shimmer, you know, like I feel like the shimmer should be on this one. Let's just try a little, just a squirt. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. That's enough, right? Maybe I haven't had enough. I don't know. And it will shimmer. You'll see it shimmer as it, oh, well, you can already see it here. It just really came out a lot. And this paper was like this. So you can see the whole difference here. So I do feel like we need a little bit of shimmer, but I'm going to try to do it really easy and kind of far away. Here we got some. Okay. Just a little. I'm mainly putting it towards the paper towel, but you can see it. Shimmer, little shimmer, but it's still very vintagey. Little shimmer here at the bottom, you can see it. Yeah. All right, we're creating this fun vintage masterboard for Sea Life, or Ocean number 2. I did add a little of the sparkle shimmer spray on here, and I think that really goes good on that one. And just a very light touch on this one. You can start to see it dry here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. Let's pull the light over and see if you can see that. Just a faint little bit of shimmer. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this masterboard. Again, it's got to dry before we do anything else with it. Hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks so much for watching. And I don't know where my remote is. Did I turn it off? Probably. Okay.